Blizzard have not solved the legendary problem, but they've made a good move.
They're trying.
And this is the start of just Agility Week. Blizzard have decided to start just solving things.
Well, I mean, honestly...
It's great.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
I think I said earlier today to you, it's like PTR, and N1 2.5's up in the PTR. The Race to World First is coming to a close soon, hopefully, before someone has a mental breakdown. Fighting against the jailer over and over again. But yeah, I feel like they've just like... This is a thing where whoever is working on 9.2.5 to try and get it over the line for PTR clearly now are allowed to go, I'll go do some other things.
Yeah.
I'll go fix the game as it exists. And they are definitely trying for it.
Yeah. I mean, with Race, it's like it's not going to be long before AirPods Max runs out of battery. It'll be rough.
Was it Now said he would eat his? I think it was Now said he would legit eat his own shit if there's a secret mythic phase, and all signs point to it. So
yeah,
yep.
Get ready.
Yeah, that won't be a good day.
So things, they've made 2 updates to legendaries. First one, significant increases to Soul Ash and Cinders from Torghast. I believe it's like triple.
You
just like do a Torghast, get 1,000 Cinders.
Yeah.
Just do 2 Torghast runs, bam.
Done, yep.
Lego done. Slight increase to the drop rates of Progenitor Essentia and Heavy Callous Hides, and an increase to Lightless Silk, Shadowlands Ores, and Callous Hides. So, what does this mean? On the gold front, there is more supply. It is going to take time for the price of the legendaries to reflect the increased supply, right?
Yep.
But I do know I was selling Progenitor Essentias for like, at one point it was like 40k, and then it was stable at around 25, 24, 23k. When I went to sell the one that I got last night, it was down at 13k.
Yeah.
So something's happened here.
Yeah, they buffed that drop rate, I believe.
Now, I think just flat out, are there there's vendor materials for the Lego crafts that just do set a floor in the price, right? I lost my marbles.
No, that was the price
for?
was the Progenitor Essentia is what was bumping a lot of the later stuff. What's bumping the price?
What am I getting confused over?
What's bumping the price of existing legendaries is the ramp up of getting the rank 1s made.
Oh yeah,
because they have tanked extremely hard. I think was it? I think I had a rank 1 plate something left over from me. I just tried to sell it. It was like 600 gold. I'm like, 600 gold? I paid like 30k for this when it was, and then didn't use it like a dumbass. So like that market is being completely flooded with low ranks because people are grinding up the experience.
Yeah.
And that's the problem where it's like, it is a huge buy-in. It is a huge like, hey, we're going to get loads of, we're going to get people to engage with crafting, and you'll feel rewarded for engaging in it because you'll be able to control the market through legendaries, but it's backfired because you can't have a small amount of people control the supply, otherwise they jack up the prices in a world where WoW token exists, and people will be forced to credit card to, people will be forced to swipe in order to do that. Whereas if they didn't have the gold, they wouldn't sell, the price would come down. But the ability of WoW token means you get to sell your gold to someone for game time, and you'll just get that gold right back from the legendary if you're one of these market controllers.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the problem. There's 150 gold each. There's a vendor item to craft it apparently. But 150 gold each, unless you're talking 1,000 of them.
Yeah. Okay, right. They've then also added a new item to the Enlightened Quartermaster available at Honored Reputation, and it contains enough Soul Ash and Cinders to make a rank 7 legendary for the cost of 3,000 Cosmic Flux, which, realistically, I've got way more Flux that I'm going to need.
It is interesting. I will say there's one small problem with this edition, and it's pretty. It's a pretty big oversight, which is, hey, here's a reason to spend all your Cosmic Flux now. Oh yeah, Creation Catalyst very soon. Don't think about that.
But it's 2,000.
But I have 6,000 Cosmic Flux.
You can only do 1 a week.
Yeah.
With the Catalyst, and I think if memory serves, it's 2,000.
Yeah.
Now I suppose a lot of people maybe have like an inflated sense of this currency because of getting all the one-off treasures in Zereth Mortis and one. But a lot of us have got loads of this anyway. This is a way to spend it. I know at least for my character, it's like I can just buy 1 or 2 of these and I'll be fine for my legendary crafting. Now, of course, for the sake of alts, you could say, oh, it's a pity that this is not BOA. Wait. You can just click it, redeem the currency, then use the packaged Soul Ash and Cinders from Bonesmith, Hymir, and Korthia to send that to your alts. However,
Cool, just teleport around the whole place 400 times and get paid tax. Sweet.
yeah, you'll be taxed. So, as it costs 300, but your character gets 250 when it's redeemed, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't feel great. And the reason why this is BFA is evidently so that you can't skip the tax. So that is what it is. But overall, I will say that the combination of these two things does mean that legendaries are being made less frustrating. Now, perhaps because of all the cinders and ash, people will want to craft more legendaries and the demand will actually increase more than the supply will increase from these changes. But that's speculation. Maybe. Who knows? We'll just have to see how the markets pan out. So maybe go on Undermine Journal, see the price graphs, see what the price movement is in those, various commodities. But anyway, they've tried to fix this. Not fix, but, they're doing nice quality of life things. Now, this is obviously when we bring out the chart that has, it's got the upside down, Ian has Ghost's face in the middle, and it's got, the WoW cycle, right?
Yep.
Where it's like, it's patch 8.3.5, add all the quality of life features, wahoo. I think there's decent cause to believe that this time around they kind of know, and they're maybe going to build things better from the start of the next expansion. I totally understand somebody saying that's just copium and they will believe it when they see it.
I'm absolutely of that mind. I think they're learning, but it's okay. I feel like the people who are making these decisions now, who are making decisions to go, okay, we're going to have a little bit nicer. Okay, we're going to make it friendlier to play. Also, we're going to make all that stuff nice and easier for you to do, and all these good changes. I'm afraid that the people making these decisions are getting free reign because the player count is low. Whereas the leadership are sitting going...
Oh, they're doing the next expansion.
Yeah, the leadership are designing the next expansion, and they're going, well, we're coming here because this is going to be... We can't lose players this time. So we're going to have this big marketing campaign to launch off. We're going to pull back 10 million players like we did with whatever Shadowlands had. They didn't, but we're going to get so many million back, and we're going to keep them this time. And we're going to do it the best way we know how, which is loaded player engagement, metric-driven stuff. And anytime someone in the room is going to go, that didn't work last time, they're going to go, shut the fuck up, the metrics say this. Because that's how they've designed the game so far. And I fundamentally think that's the problem. You have different people working on the game now. I genuinely think that unless there is a beta that happens that has all of these systems really open, because they're definitely going to throw stuff into 10.0. They can't not. They literally cannot. The design language they know is this shit. So they're going to do that in 10.0. And if they don't have the courage to make it open and honest how they plan it in the alpha and beta, and then the community jumps down their throat and says, will you fucking design your game like it's the end of an expansion instead of the start of one? You dumb fucking half-wits. If that doesn't happen, then we're just going to fall into the same problems. That's what I genuinely think.
There is a big difference between our organization now and BFA beta.
Yeah.
That is, number one, we're more capable. Mm-hmm. Our heads are more screwed on. Another one, Dakor's on the team.
Yep.
So, me and Matt, generally heroic curve raiders. Now, Matt, you had a stint in Mythic for Antorus, as an example, and some stuff there. Dakor is a cutting edge raider. Cutting edge is the achievement you get for, it's basically curve, but for Mythic. So that's a thing that's changed with us as an org. Now, another thing has changed in the content creator community, and that is that, covering PTRs and stuff is no longer what Mike wants to do.
Yeah.
Which is fair. Now, I really enjoy diving into all of this shit and trying to identify the problems because, to be honest with you, thinking about, game, how does it work? Will people like it? I've always found that interesting. It's like, there's a reason why the whole making games thing is interesting, part of what we do here. But knowing that we're way more capable to provide way more diverse insights up and down the chain, especially now more up the chain, and that I think the vital role that Mike played in the community is, no longer as played by him. We're going to be, I don't know, but we haven't had a discussion on this.
Yeah.
But I mean, Matt, is it fair to say in the 10.0 era, we are going to very much be on the mode of let's be careful and let's treat problems when we see them early, extremely seriously, to try to call out the feedback, because let's be real, if they listened to Preach, Shadowlands would have went better. And I don't just say that as in, preach.
Yeah.
he only exists if other people agree with him. And yeah, sure, there's a feedback loop and he can influence opinion as well.
Yeah.
But community feedback needs to be listened to, and that means that I certainly feel like I have a responsibility. We have a responsibility to be very to be very responsible, I think. And a part of being very responsible means being very real. It means being very just as focused on like the same problems cannot happen again. We cannot allow this to happen. So I suppose that's just a bit of a statement of intent.
Yeah.
And that's going to be in a productive way. Because look, whenever Blizzard does this stuff, it's good. Whenever Blizzard, does the good things they've done in this latest patch, that's good. And we want more of that good because it'll make the game better. It'll mean we can all have more fun. Like, we have been enjoying raiding. I dare say we've even been enjoying doing Mythic Plus.
Oh, yeah, generally.
We've been enjoying World of Warcraft right now.
Yep, that's right.
And
unashamedly too.
If it was... And that's just because the scales have tipped just enough for the friction to be okay to deal with.
Yeah.
If the scales were back where they have been in places in the past, we would not be saying that. We would not be playing.
Well, here's a pretty good example. The way the scaling has worked is I was able to go get my Mythic Plus DPS Legendary as Resto Druid in I think it was like half an hour of running layer 9s, because I can, with Heart of the Wild and Feral Affinity, I can prowl to the floor boss. Heart of the Wild Convoke and it's dead. So I did this for half an hour when I was really tired one night and got my Legendary. That was the friction removed. And I was like, okay, that means I can actually play this. Unbelievable. I can actually play this. Wild. Also, Zereth Mortis is nice as his own. Sepulchre is very nice to be in as his own. And also it plays well. Like, the raid design is fantastic.
Dude.
Yep.
Okay, right. I'm going to shout out...
Did you scroll down the thing, or...?
No, I'm going to shout out a Twitter account.
Okay.
So let's grab...
Should I fire over to your screen?
AI. 1 second.
Okay. Yep.
I just saw a tweet
the AI
on
tweet?
Luke's account, and it's fucking killed me.
Oh, was it from earlier
3
today?
hours ago.
That if it's the one I'm thinking of, guess what?
Yeah, get a load of this, everyone. One thing people are complaining about in Warcraft are the jailer and his jailer. These two are very similar in appearance, and they're very similar in power. The fucking AI knows about the Primus and the jailer.
And it's only GPT-2. It's not even that smart.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, obviously, full disclosure, Luke's in our guild.
Yep.
So, oh man, that's so much fun. Anyway, this is a fun Twitter account. I recommend it. Anyway, fuck, that one just killed me when I saw it.
So, to follow up what you were saying there about the about the expansion and like what we're going to do going into alpha and beta, I have... So, I don't remember all that well the beginning of BFA beta, BFA Shadowlands beta, because that was in the scuff times, as I'll call them. But I very much have done a lot of soul searching and thinking about how this happened, how feedback happened, how we saw all this happen and no one went, this is a car crash waiting to happen. The bridge has stopped being built halfway. We need to figure this out. So I've done a lot of thinking about like how to look at systems from the every player perspective, how to think of the second order and third order effects, how to think about their impacts as nice one.
My phone just rested on the power button and restarted the laptop.
Nice one. So in terms of thinking about how, like, the stuff that we didn't think of and didn't give feedback on that really was important, the stuff that they're not thinking about. The fact that the legendary seemed cool but had this ultimate effect. Had this thing of, oh, well, this is just meant that the next patch is all scuffed. How the slot system meant that, now 9.2 scuffed for a lot of people legendary, like yourself, because of how they've done it.
My top 2 legendaries are both fucked in a unique way. I love it.
Yeah, so it's like... so it's coming into the next alpha and beta with the full experience of having watched Legion, BFA, and Shadowlands unfold from the beta throughout how all the effects have had on players. So I'm going to be completely insufferable whenever an alpha drops, and hopefully for Blizzard's sake I don't get an invite, because I'll just send them emails every day. But
it's not like that.
You know,
we're going to be just very clear about where the feedback is and where, because all of this, all of our feedback has not been to make developers feel sad. It has not been to just criticize work for the sake of it. It has been to say, we don't think players will like this.
Yeah, that's
we don't think this is going to pan out well. We think this might not make people happy.
Yeah, so
that's all it's ever been.
Yeah, so my approach is going to be trying to look and see where this is going to cascade wrong in the future.
Yeah,
because even the stuff like I remember being largely positive on a lot of the Legion stuff, like a lot of the Legion class designs, and now you look at them without the artifact power, you look at them without all the stuff and go, well, these are fairly bare bones and have substantial problems. It's like, how do you go from Mists of Pandaria to Warlords of Draenor? That's a big downgrade. Well, that's because you're changing for the sake of changing. Did no one in the WoD beta go, this is shit, what are you doing? I guess that's the thing where it's about, I think coming to it, especially with their language, engaging to them in the ways that we know they've listened to, and being completely ruthless with them, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's the...
Yep.
Yeah, the same perspective I want to bring to it, because we want this game to be really fucking good.
Yep.
That's why we're here.
Yep. And okay. Not for the people who are at the top of the company, because I don't give a shit about them, but for the people who are really, like, this is one thing, especially thinking about 9.2, seeing all of the hard work that the actual, like a lot of the newer staff, a lot of the lower staff or social staff, or even like up to the seniors, the ones that are, all of that work that's being destroyed by leadership decisions, I actually think that is really, really good. So much of it's really, really good and just not in the right place or not supported. It's like a world where 9.2 wasn't about Sylvanas and wasn't about the Jailer and was instead about the Enlightened would be a much better one.
Yeah,
substantially.
Zerath Mortis is full of so much like beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
And there's like lots of little like nice motifs and nice side quests and nice bits. It doesn't come together as well as it could.
Yep.
And that's the even in Korthia, there was like nice little bits and bits where you could really see individual developers had put a whole lot of heart into.
Yep.
But you know, it's like when the game systems come in and just sort of betray that, it's really sad because all the sort of good effort gets wasted.
Yep. Absolutely.
So right, that's basically, anyway, to go back to it, that's the situation. Mm-hmm. Like there's other stuff just about the crafting, you know, and all of that. Like to craft a rank 4 piece, you need to make 15 rank 1s, 15 rank 2s, and 15 rank 3s per slot. Can you think of how much money and resources that is? That's mad.
Yeah, that's exactly the thing where I fully believe when they decided to make that system at the start of the game, they were like, we fully believe in what this is going to do. And they were, by the design specs they aimed for, they were correct. But no one stopped to think about the long term or the impact on the economy, anything like that. And that's a case where I think that's where the community can chime in and go, are you daft? Have you lost your mind? Think of this in a 0.1 patch. And then maybe they'll change their mind. Maybe.
Yeah. That just like wait for the systems patch.
Yeah.
Wait for that's the one.
That's anti-player. That's
the one thing that cannot continue.
Yeah.
They need to make the game feel good now.
Yeah, because otherwise no one's going to play.
And hopefully this represents that, because this is not 9.2.5. Yep. You know, like it took until 8.3.5 for all those good things to come in that made that patch way more playable.
Yeah.
By which stage we were done.
Yeah.
So we didn't benefit from that. Most like current active players of the game didn't really benefit from that.
Yep.
So, you know, at least it's happening faster and within the current patch. And like if that's something that holds as a trend, that's really good. Give us the Renown 60 now, because earning that Renown is not fun. I think Renown generally...
Renown 80. Give us Renown 80.
Give us 80, yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's exactly the thing. Why is it 60? If anyone, the developer team is allowed to say, please say why it's 60. Because the cynical reason I say it's 60 is because then they'll hit 60, they'll still need 20. You know, maybe, it's fine. If you hit 60 at a level 50, then you can just go get the 80 during the Threads of Fate. That's okay. Perfectly fine. Oh, yeah, what if you have a fresh 60? Okay, you can go do your campaign and get a bunch of Renown. And we need you to do your campaign and feel rewarded, so Renown will be there. But you don't need your players to feel rewarded because you're just trying to get them to jump through fucking hoops. That's the only reason it's 60 and not 80. Unless it's a technical thing, and if it's a technical thing, 79. Because there's no reason you don't just go, here you go, have 80, play the game. Play our game. Do you want people to play your game? Let them play your fucking game.
Yeah, because like right now, it's like, okay, so let's just say I want to try out any other Covenant on my character.
Oh, get fucked.
It's like, oh, okay,
Easy.
so I just have to go and, you know, get up to 40 and then... either feeling optimal for H's or just go to a bunch of Torghast 9s.
Yeah.
That's not fun.
Yeah.
That's not fun. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. That is exactly it, Night Soccer. The moment they implement the 80 boost, they are admitting Renown never made sense. That's the admission they need to make. That's the admission they're making with Legendaries now in Torghast. They're going, oh shit, this was too stingy. You have a Legendary problem with it. They need to actually admit these mistakes, otherwise nothing's going to get better. They're watching their own game fester and rot from the inside out and doing nothing about it.
Renown, it's like, what is it? Let's see. It's a way to timegate things such as PvP honor item level upgrades, such that the entire honor gear system is completely worthless. So that's one thing that they accomplished with Renown. The other thing is basically it's just a battle pass that sometimes gives you rewards, most of which it's not giving you a reward, it's giving you the opportunity to buy the reward with currency.
Yeah. Well, here's 2%.
Like, the whole thing was weird.
2% stand look way. And
to be honest, whenever I get a cosmetic set from the Renown track, it doesn't feel that rewarding because I haven't went and earned it via content. I've just earned it by, getting my points up. Yeah, it's not being a oh, I did this cool thing, now I have this set. Yeah. It's just handed to me. So I just think Renown is a big failure, and hopefully that's the sort of thing that they don't try to do in the future. I think any time they've gated something behind Renown, it's felt bad.
Yeah, because Renown isn't a thing that you work for. It's just, here's your arbitrary number for doing the engagement. It's rations for engagement is what it is.
Yeah.
And that everyone who plays it should feel that. Even if they don't cognizantly, consciously recognize it, they'll feel it.